Good afternoon, everybody. It's meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. We have lots of weather stories to go over, including the mountain fire. But I have spent so much time on that mountain fire. I want to just take a moment and probably start off with a national look here at the weather, and then we'll head on over to everything that's happening with regards to the mountain fire. So I do hope you all are having a wonderful Friday and a great start to your weekend. And for those who are impacted and have been impacted by the mountain fire, I am so sorry. I'm going to do my best here to help you all. We do have links to FEMA programs and things of that nature so that you can get some help. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. It's actually listed in that ticker below. You can see that there. But we're going to go over a couple of key pieces. And if you look right above me, right there in Texas, we are seeing a tornado watch. So let's get started with that. We'll go over the weather across the nation. We'll show you some hour by hour future casts, and then we'll go ahead and discuss how we're moving forward with the weather throughout the weekend. Okay. So an overall look here, you can see there's a lot of activity happening, right? So we have been tracking that storm that's now moving up through the central plains. It was sitting over the Rockies for the past couple of days. It was about 36 hours, right? And now it's moving northeastward. That's exactly what we expected. We expected that the storm would continue northeastward and it would bring more rain and snow up and along its path. But here is the deal. We are seeing an influence from the Gulf. So it's bringing in some warmer air. So if you notice here right now, I'm going to zoom on in just a little bit. Do you see that we're mainly seeing rain, especially through parts of Oklahoma into Kansas, as well as Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas, of course. In fact, we do have flood alerts that have been issued. So let's go through that very clearly and let's talk about what we're seeing here. I do want to show you an item here that I'm going to pull everything back on. Do you see that? Here we're looking at the precip rate. Pretty high right now. We'll go through that in detail. In fact, let's highlight that very quickly and see what we're getting here. Precip rate so far for many of you across the area. Let's see here. We can get that going. Possibly not yet. We'll go back to see what's happening here. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to get our precip rate here. This is exactly what we wanted. All right, we're seeing 800ths of an inch per hour. Let's see if we get anything higher here. 0.32 inches rainfall rate. So we can see here that there are some pockets of heavier rain, but I'm going to add those watches in mornings once again. And here we have a tornado watch issued by the National Weather Service. Thank you so much all for joining me here. We are going to go through the national weather and then we're going to head back to the mountain fire. Okay, so let's focus on this tornado watch issued by the National Weather Service. And so now this is in effect for Central Texas, Bell, Hill, Falls, Limestone, Freestone, McLennan counties. Also included in this North Central Texas, Collin, Cook, Ellis, Denton, Kaufman, Johnson, Rockwell, Tarrant, Dallas, Grayson, and Navarro counties. So this is in effect until 9 p.m. CST local time. Okay. So am I seeing the threat there of tornadoes to possibly actually take form? Yes. We're going to look at a couple of items here. Are we seeing any radar indicated signatures? It looks like we are. So let's add our storm tracks. We love to see how these storms are behaving, right? We're going to add our meso early, hail, and stronger storms. There you can see them. Let me move remove this tornado watch update there, and let's zoom on in to these storms. There they are. Do you see how these storms right now are just marching along quite quickly? This one might be of interest. Let's zoom in a little bit here and see what town we're getting close to here. This one definitely has some good size hail. It looks like the impact range is anywhere between 2 to 5. So it's a stronger storm here moving through Corsicana. And let's see if we have our local storm reports, at least over the past couple of hours. Let's take a look at what we have reported here. I'm just going to go for the past maybe the 3 hours and let's see what our reports say here. Okay, we're going to include all types of storm reports and see what we're getting so far. But you can see here that our storms are moving through quite quickly and we are getting a lot of indication that there is a lot of dense precip, right? So the water is dense, and anytime I'm looking for hail, I'm going to see, do you see this highlighted blue here? This is what I'm going to be looking for, okay? That's going to give me an indication that that's an area that will likely, a storm that will likely produce some hail. So I do oftentimes like to look at that vertically integrated liquid, and I've mentioned that to you before, because oftentimes we get to see the potential for that hail. And actually, it looks like good size hail. So I'm pretty confident we're going to have some great storm reports in just a little bit. Let's see what we can possibly produce here. Storm reports. Do we have anything else listed? We'll get to that in a moment, but we'll definitely make sure that we add our storm reports issued by the observers. Okay. But in the meantime, oh, here's a storm report over the last couple of hours. So this looks like flooding possibly. Yes, it's a flood. Storm chaser reported. So this would be a Skywarn storm spotter. I'm sure they have their number that they call into the National Weather Service. Street flooding, they've reported that there in Oklahoma. We've also got a flash flood report in Garfield County. Vance Air Force Base emergency management road closure has been reported. Now, we do know we've seen lots of snow, right? 11 inches of snow in Texline, Texas. Okay, so this is a train spotter, snow ongoing and heavy at times. We are getting snow reports, several snow reports as that storm hovered. Look at this, 40 inches of snow. Okay, Colfax County, New Mexico. Let's just hover on over. Let's just get into this snow because I can tell you, I'm pretty jealous right now. I wish I were here. This is kind of my dream location right now. Where was that one? I believe this was the one. Nope, 40 inches of snow was somewhere around here. There it is. Reported 2:06 p.m. today, Mountain Standard Time. 40 inches of snow. Let's see. Angel Fire. It looks like the town is Angel Fire, Colfax, New Mexico. So this is pretty amazing. I am just absolutely blown away by the amount of snow. I mean, we knew this was going to happen. We were going to get a lot of snow, right? And that's exactly what we're seeing here. This reported in Rio Arriba County, New Mexico, Cannon Plaza, 18 inches of snow. This was reported by, it looks like a federal authority. And remarks, it says Hopewell Snowtell. Okay, but we have more snow updates, 17 inches in Rio Arriba, San Miguel, also reported by an authority figure there. It looks like federal authorities. And then we have, let's see, what else do we have here? Wow, more snow, 14 inches of snow in Clayton, which is Union County, New Mexico. So if you all are like me and you guys are jonesing for some snow, we know where we need to be right now, but I'm working, so I cannot be there. If you're there, please send us some images. We would love to share. But right now, the big story is I'm going to pull those storm reports off quickly, and I'm just going to focus on these storm tracks, okay? Because remember, we talked about this storm for the past couple of days. There were a couple of issues, especially when we were talking about the wildfire, that fire, mountain fire in Ventura County, California. We saw that was due, the winds, the Santa Ana winds were a big problem, right? We were seeing the compressional heating due to the winds as they squeezed through the canyons. We saw how fast, how accelerated the winds were, and how warm and how hot those conditions were, how dry the winds were. Okay. So we needed a couple of things to happen. The first was to have this storm system that was sitting over the Rockies to go northeastward, because that would then allow for that area of high pressure to just start to weaken. That ridge of high pressure would start to weaken. The second thing we needed was this up here, okay? This guy is going to be really helpful, okay? This is what we're looking at right here. Let's get our satellite back on, and we're going to take a look at what exactly this storm, do you see this here? So this storm system with the associated cold front, that's going to help us quite a bit, especially with that fire. So I'll show you in just one moment, but I've got to get back to these storms because we are seeing a tornado watch, and we need to make sure that none of these are going tornadic right now. But you can see that we're getting some rotation right around Tulsa. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Ponca City as well, Independence, Bartlesville, Locust Grove. I mean, Oklahoma, Kansas, you guys have been seeing active weather all week long. Earlier in the week, you started off with a few tornadoes, and that's pretty much what's going to happen right now. So we're just going to track that for you and just take a look at how many reports we're getting of any type of, let's see, activity here. We could see some funnel clouds. We're definitely seeing some flooding. So let's remove the radar, guys, and let's go ahead and take off the satellite as well. I have my contour here for the rainfall rate. We'll remove that. What I'm going to do here is show you who's getting the flood alerts issued by the National Weather Service. Here we have a flash flood warning issued. This is in effect until 3:45 p.m. CST. And remember, this right here is the CST, meaning Central Standard Time perspective. Okay, so this flash flood warning is going to be in effect for several more minutes. So just please be advised. We have another flash flood warning that has been issued. This is a flood warning in effect until let's see, tomorrow evening. Unfortunately, doesn't have an exact time, but tomorrow evening we have North Canadian River near Watonga. Minor flooding is forecasted. At 15 feet, flooding of croplands, pastures, and rural roads will occur. The floodwaters extend from near Watonga in Blaine County downstream to near Calumet in Western Canadian County. Okay, but we're going back to our rotation here that we're seeing. So, of course, we have to keep in mind, will we get anything like a tornado possibly? Let's take a look at our sweeping radar. Do we have one up there? We might. Let's take a look at our radar in general here. So you can see here, guys, that we're going to remove our local storm reports and we're going to show you the areas of interest. Okay, let's go back to our watches and warnings and let's see what we have here. Alrighty. So now we can see that those tornado watches have expired. Oh, there's one right here. Okay, I spoke too soon. This one here. For the most part, those that I saw crossing the state line there, those have expired. But let's see here what we have. These are going to be in effect until 9 p.m. CST, so local time. And this is pretty dangerous. Let's overlay this with a radar. And let's see if I can get a sweeping radar up here as well. I hope I can because that would actually give us a much better perspective of what we can see here. But we do see some areas of interest. Tornado watch. Let's highlight this one right here, this storm cell. 23 decibels as far as intensity goes. Precip rate is 0.04. That's worth mentioning. So we just want to track that very closely and just make sure that there's nothing there that we could see that could become tornadic. But I do think it's important to understand. Let's see. So we're at 23 dBZs. So typical values for non-precipitating light drizzle. So moderate to heavy rain is what we're seeing here in this particular case. So this is why we're giving this a tightened range of, I believe it's 2.6 to 5. So this is a pretty hardy storm here that we're tracking for you that's moving through, just moving across just northeast of Waco, just approaching south east of Dallas. Let's see if we can get a better city, closer city here. Corsicana. All right, Corsicana. Lovely people in the area. We've been there several times, and we are definitely making sure that you have a heads up here on what's happening. Let's switch this radar product here and see what else we can pull up. Let's look at our echo tops, if you will, okay? Let's see what we're getting here as far as our echo tops. Give it one or two times to just loop for about another loop here. So now we're seeing the echo tops at 1 kilometer. So this is a storm we're going to want to show a little bit more interest, right? We're going to want to make sure that we're seeing anything here. Let's look at our vertically integrated liquid here. That'll also start to change over soon enough. I just want you all to pay attention to what's happening here with this particular storm cell that we're going to track very closely. Okay, this is of interest to us right here. Thank you all so much for joining us here at Weather Co-op. Do you see the blue highlight it there? Okay, I'm going to remove that radar, okay? And I'm just going to have one contour, which is our vertically integrated liquid. And I show you that because that's going to tell me that the liquid is quite dense. The bluer the signature there, you see, that's giving us very dense liquid. So that would just indicate, oh yeah, we've got hail there. So let's see if we can turn on some of our local storm reports here. And if we can get those storm reports to give us some kind of information, that would absolutely be helpful. It looks like it's falling right now in real time is what you're seeing. So we'll probably get those storm reports, hail reports in just a few minutes. But we are seeing our vertically integrated liquid. We're also seeing our echo tops right now. Do you see these? How strong they are? So this is one, I think that as we move a little north and east of Corsicana, that one's going to be of interest. Let's keep following this storm cell right here. It's just approaching, let's see, Rice. Is it Rice? It looks like just southeast of Rice, Texas. But you can see this is a hardy storm cell, okay? This is a hardy storm cell, and we're just going to track this very closely for the next couple of minutes, okay? So you want to see that this is what the storm is looking like as we look at that tornado watch issued, and it's in effect until approximately 9 p.m. local time. Now I'm going to go to the next product here, okay? As we take a look at our current temperatures across the nation, this is always very important. We're seeing lots of 70s here in Texas. We've got Oklahoma City at 63. Amarillo, 39 degrees. No surprise, right? You guys are seeing snow there. You guys are in that cold sector when it comes to the storm. Garden City, 40. Wichita, 51. Kansas City, 55. Pittsburgh, 59. Roanoke, 67. St. George, 59. San Francisco, 67. Redding, 69 degrees, San Diego, 71, Salt Lake City, 48. And yeah, we've got that colder air that's moving through the Rockies, right? And then you've got that warmer sector here from Mobile at 78, 78 for New Orleans, and 77 for Montgomery. I also want to take a look at our wind profile. Garden City, you've got wind speeds at 32 miles per hour. Danbury, 18 mile per hour wind speeds for you. And we have stronger wind speeds for Odessa at 14, Oklahoma City at 11. And here, can you see? Here's Raphael. He's spinning in the Gulf. He's spinning in the Gulf. We'll talk about what's going to happen with Raphael in just one moment. And you can see right around Denver, Albuquerque, Salt Lake City, Boise, Redding. You've got that northerly push, right? You've got that cold air moving in. And Los Angeles, you see here right around the central coast, Southern California, we're getting that onshore influence. So now that's going to help us a bit. But here's the issue. It's the smoke that we're concerned about. And I'll show you in just one moment. Relative humidity is much better in the SoCal Central Coast region, in the 40s there. And that was a big concern for us. A lot more moisture rich in Houston, New Orleans, Miami, Jacksonville, and Charleston. So here we are, guys. Many of you have been wanting to see the updates on the mountain fire, and we're going to go through this in depth, okay? So right now we have our evacuation shelters. We also have an update to our large animal evacuation center. An evacuation center has been updated. Cal OES, large animal shelter, full at fairgrounds. We're now sending people to Earl Warren Showgrounds in Santa Barbara. Okay, please be aware that the Ventura County Fairgrounds are full. Okay, they're full right now. We don't have any more room there. Unfortunately, now they are sending larger animals to the Earl Warren Showgrounds. So that really breaks my heart. It does tell me that they are full to capacity and that there's just so much going on with this fire. We're still seeing the impact of the smoke. We're at, I believe this number has changed. We're at about 20,765. So let me go ahead and change that for you all. So you can see here that there is a change in the total acreage that has been consumed by fire. We're at 20,765 acres. Okay. So now we talked about that onshore influence, right, that we were seeing. So we thought, well, that's good. At least we're not seeing those strong Santa Ana winds. But what we are seeing is the spreading of that near surface smoke. And that is alarming. Okay, so this is a problem that we're now facing with the smoke that's just moving up and down the coast. It's just consuming so many people right now. So if you are in this area, you're going to want to wear a mask, that is for sure, and possibly stay indoors if you're in an area that you don't have to evacuate. Okay, if you don't have to evacuate the area, stay indoors and stay safe. That is so important right now because so many people are definitely being impacted by the smoke. This is the big story right now. I want to see if I can remove this contour and take a look at possible visibility issues. Visibility has improved. If you recall last night, right around 5, 6 p.m., we saw that the visibility was very poor indeed, and now we're seeing that at least conditions are better for firefighters. But we can see here everybody that's being impacted by the mountain fire. Currently 20,765 acres consumed by this fire. Everybody from Monterey, Soledad, King City, Cambria, Los Osos, San Luis Obispo, Arroyo Grande, Orchid, Lompoc, Solvang, Goleta, Carpinteria, Somis, Thousand Oaks, Los Angeles, Torrance, Mission Viejo, all being impacted by the smoke. Okay. This is a major concern. So now I'm going to move to another graphic that I built for you all that I want you to see here. Okay. Do you see as this continues 120 hours out through Sunday into Monday? Look what happens here. Do you see an improvement in the surface smoke? No. And in fact, we're seeing poor visibility as well. The blue, the oranges, the yellows, that would indicate the smoke, the surface smoke. And if you see kind of like that gray, see that gray white area right around, like you see where Guadalupe is, San Luis Obispo, Lompoc. Do you see that gray? Okay, that, let's see if I can highlight this. If I can highlight this, that would be much better. Um, let's see, a scope. Let's see if I can get it right over this. Can I do that? Might not be able to, but if I can, that's really the goal here. No, let's undo that. Okay. If I can, that would be ideal to be able to highlight this area. I'll just use a ruler. I think this is fine. I'm just going to use this area here, okay? Do you see this little area and that I've highlighted in red? So about 57 miles in width, right? That area right there is going to be a problem as far as visibility. This whole area, Cambria, Carmel Valley, Soledad, Coalinga, Avenal, Fireball, Shaver Lake, Wood Lake, Delano, all going to be a problem when it comes to visibility by Sunday into Monday. Okay, so we're going to take note of that, and be really vigilant about the forecast. Let's go back though, okay, and let's take a look. Whoa, not sure what just happened here. This just gave me an interesting view. All right, here we go. One more time. We're going to go through this one more time, guys. Okay, so you can see here that we are looking through, we're starting at 3 p.m. on Friday, right? And we're moving through 3 a.m. Saturday. Do you see what happens here? We're looking for that storm system that's going to move down from the Pacific Northwest through Sunday. And then look what happens. By Monday, we start to see some rain, at least close to the area, not as close as we'd like it to be, but at least now we're going to see some moisture being carried at least in the mid upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's going to help us a lot. But you can see that by Monday how many people are going to be impacted by that smoke. And once again, it is only, I believe it's still only 7% contained, 20,765 acres. Wow, this is a super sad story. And I do know that over 130 buildings have been consumed. I can't say how many have been homes opposed to commercial spaces. Nonetheless, these are people's lives that are being impacted. And once again, let me share something with you quickly. Okay, guys, I want to show a couple of images here, okay, including the mountain fire. Okay, we're looking at our evacuation orders for zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We see here that there has been an update because unfortunately the Ventura County Fairgrounds are full. So now it's the Earl Warren Showgrounds in Santa Barbara. Small evacuation center, small animal evacuation center is still the Ventura County Animal Services. Okay. These are the road closures, including Crestview northbound at Bella Vista, Las Posas northbound at Lewis, Aprisa northbound at Ponderosa, Waters Road from Stockton, California Highway Patrol jurisdiction, Santa Clara eastbound from the 118, Balcom westbound from the 118, Ventura County. You can see everything here that has been closed. Okay. Federal assistance, once again, we do have a state of emergency that has been declared and signed by Governor Newsom. Thank you so much for doing that. We have to make sure that you all can start your paperwork if you or somebody you know has been impacted. Okay. So far, resources assigned include 2,420 personnel, 14 helicopters, 378 engines, 17 dozers, 20 water tenders, 34 crew, and 3 others assigned. 6 injuries reported, confirmed fire personnel, and civilian injuries. Let's see here. So right now we're at 6 confirmed injuries. Okay. We don't see fatalities. It doesn't clarify, right? The damage assessment, it doesn't clarify that, but we're really hoping that people were, of course, rescued quick enough and things are much improved. I'm looking to see if we have our cameras available still, and if not, I will definitely find some cameras for you as soon as possible. But once again, we're looking here at the overall perspective of the hour by hour forecast over the next several hours. Okay, so we're going to go back to our main product here. This includes our wind profile with our let's see here, with our bulletin board, but I'm going to remove that because I do think it can be a little distracting. We're going to go to our winds at 850 millibars. I do think that gives us a better perspective of what's happening here. So once again, our winds are at 850 millibars, about 3,800 to 5,000 feet above sea level, because we have to understand that the smoke is rising, right? And in fact, I'll prove it to you right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a vertically integrated smoke map, and this is what I showed you yesterday. And then I'm going to remove, should you see this right here? So what I just did, guys, was I just removed the near surface smoke. Okay, so this is near surface, right? Now we remove that, and look what's happening higher up in the atmosphere. This is how high the smoke is reaching. Okay, so this is growing. This is a major problem for air quality. We are seeing poor air quality alerts that I want you to be mindful of. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this product here for you all to see. And I'll maybe move this out just a little bit. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. Thank you so much for joining me this past half hour. We're going to go over once again that storm system that's going to dive down through the Pacific Northwest that will bring some rain through Monterey, Soledad, possibly King City, and it's going to at least carry some type of moisture. Now, this particular storm system that's going to be moving in by Sunday, Monday, we're expecting it to kind of trigger an atmospheric river, which is great. Okay, this is the one time I'm like, we need it, we want it, we need some kind of an alleviation in the atmosphere, and that just might be it. So hang tight for that to commence on Sunday, Monday, to help give us a break here. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave you guys for just a few minutes, and I'm going to walk my dog. Chloe, are you okay? Do you want to get walked? Yeah, there she goes. Can you guys see her? There's Chloe. She wants to be walked. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go for now, but I will be back. I'm just going to go ahead and allow this to continue to play. All right. And I look forward to seeing you all in just a little bit. I'll walk my dog and I'll be back. All right, guys. You have a good one.